What's up guys, that's Close here, and I'm going to give you an Irelia commentary now. And I'm against a Vladimir that is waiting for an extra potion here, and I'm going to be trying to give as many tips as I can, because this is actually going to be sort of a guide, because this game is actually pretty good. I think it's not that high level or anything, it's like 1300 elo probably, but I think it's decent enough, honestly. So I'm helping Shavana with red. If you get a jungler that starts at blue, then you just wanna get a fourth bot. That helps quite a bit. Irelia's first few levels are kinda weak. I didn't really follow up here because I didn't think we could, but I don't know. If I maybe could have stunned. Not even sure if I think it took creep damage, so that's why I didn't. So what you want to do the early levels is just farm out, and I really gotta lock this camera. You just want to farm. I think Vladimir is actually incredibly good against Irelia. Against Irelia, I pick Vladimir personally. I mean, he has to sustain to keep up with her, and just they both have to farm in the first few levels, so that's like incredibly easy too. I messed that up. I should have just queued and then stunned. I think that would have worked because I was low enough. For some reason I flashed. I'm not sure why. So my lane's pushing. This is actually fairly bad. That's what you want. You want the lane to push towards you in the early levels. Makes it easier for your jungler to come and gank. My Shavana was trying to, but I don't know. I just messed up on those. So Jax comes up here, and looking at this, Vladimir walks back for some reason, and I just get a free kill because of it. Jax dies to my ignite, and I get a double buff. That was incredibly bad of Vladimir, honestly. Vladimir wasn't there with him. I guess he used his spells anyway, so maybe that's why he didn't try. Didn't ping him to fall back or anything though. You should always let your jungler know whether you're ready or not. That's really important. So Vladimir has probably movement speed Quints, maybe even defensive masteries. I think he has defensive masteries too, looking at that movement speed. That's quite a lot. Actually they have a Janna, so that's probably it. For runes on Irelia I use usually 80 Quints, marks, armor seals, and magic resist glyphs. Against something like riven or renekton or something, I use armor quintessences. That's actually quite helpful. Here I get creep blocked immensely, by the way, which is terrible. I usually go with 9, 14, 7. Sometimes I get, like against Olaf, I get the extra, I get 21 defense, usually. It's quite useful. For some reason Janna comes up here. I'm kind of confused by this. I'm just dancing around with Vladimir not knowing this. I just put a ward down too. I just Q to Janna to close more distance, but then they're still diving for it, so I stun one under tower, and I take out Janna because of the turret, and then my Shavana can just pick up Vladimir for free. So that was a 2 for 1. They shouldn't have went that aggressive on me. That's really bad against Irelia, because Irelia Shavana is actually really good late game, both of them. So Vladimir's too, and I think Janna is too. I'm not really sure about that though. But it's not worth trading kills with Irelia anyway, honestly. Irelia is really good with the gold. I actually have really low CS right now, but that's because I've been playing really aggressive early. So basically against Vladimir what you want to do is just get 2 null magic mantles. Like that, he cannot really hurt you anymore at the start, but it's still not enough to actually make you win from him. But seeing I got 2 kills, and he doesn't have his revolver yet, that's really when Vladimir gets used. So what I did here, let me jump back on that. So this is what you usually want to do most of the time. So I'm going to Q to this minion, then I'm going to stun him, and then I'm going to just hit on him and just take him really low. The trick on Irelia is to the W works for the Q, but if you Q to a minion, you still have that Q for when they run away. But that's not just the point. You can also, usually if you Q, you take them lower than you, if you're both full. And then, if you don't do that, it will actually stun you. It will actually stun him instead of slow. So, that's a pretty neat trick to do. Gotta always watch the minions. Like, they can help you get away, they can help you stun, they can do anything for you, really. Like, it's actually a really important part of her mobility in lane. Q has a lot of possibilities if you use them correctly. So Vladimir gets me below his health, but I can't dive him. That would be death sentence against the Vladimir, especially if he has his pull up. What this Vladimir should do is just ulti me and then just get me as low as possible. That's what you should do as Vladimir. So I tried to harass him here, but I walk on the turret, which is not worth it at all. I'm actually kind of curious what I'm gonna do next. I get 9, 14, 7. I get the kill here just because of the ignite. I'm going back on this for a second. So what I'm gonna do, he thinks I based, so I'm going to Q to this. I get the CS. I was really not even planning to kill him, but he walks too far up and I can get my WQW on him, which basically just does a lot of damage. At 6 it's like 130 true damage already. So 135 actually. So that's quite a bit of extra damage from the W. The W is actually incredibly strong. Well, that's kind of obvious. Not really sustain wise though. Always what you want to do is just push up when you kill someone or force them out of lane. You want to push up so all these creeps die to his tower and then he can't get that experience and you get ahead on them. Usually on Irelia what you want to do is just freeze the lane as soon as possible. That can be quite tricky in most of the cases though, but sometimes it's not really worth it. If, like in this case, I managed to kill him, then you should always just push up. Pushing the tower isn't even that bad, honestly. Sometimes they miss a CS, but you definitely need a ward if you do so. Let's see. I get a recurve bow. I'm going Wit's End against him. Usually I'd go Phage against Vladimir too. I get the double null magic mantle and then I just go Phage. You don't even need the mercs because it doesn't really have CC besides the W, but the W doesn't actually continue after you walk off of it. Like, it keeps slowing you until you walk off of it. So every time I get a stun him, I can do like 4 hits and a Q on him, which is a lot of damage. If you see that, it does about 75%, but seeing how this is Vladimir, once he gets his revolver he can just out-sustain that after a bit. So the problem with out-sustaining it though is he does harass me, which makes me lower HP than him, and there are some really good plays you can make with this, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to show this. Here I can Q to him because I'm high enough, and I'm not going to be able to kill him because I used the Q already and he pulled. But I wait until he hits. Wait, I'm not sure. Actually, here I wait until he hits me, and then I flash the stun. If I would have queued, it would have done too much damage, and I wouldn't have stunned. I think that was a really nice play too. So I wait until he hits me, and then I flash the stun, and then I just destroy him. The stun is really important against Vladimir, otherwise you're not going to be able to follow up really with the hits. So I honestly think that's really good. That was a pretty good decision. But what basically happened was I was higher HP, but then he queued, got me a bit lower, and healed himself. So he was just a bit above my health, so I could flash the stun. You should. That's a big part of Irelia. You gotta know when you can and when you cannot stun. You kind of get used to it. It's actually fairly easy. So I'm going to fast forward through this now. I'm taking Golem for some reason, even though Chevenak was there. Like, that's, you shouldn't do that. Your jungler needs to farm probably more than you do. So I'm going to freeze the lane here. This is a really nice trick. It doesn't work that well for Vladimir though, but it's incredibly nice against most matchups. Like, Vladimir can stay up. If he gets a ward, he can just stay up with you and just get the XP and gold. But what this basically does, if you're stronger than them, every time they come up to take CS or like try to get experience, you can just fly at a minion and then just stun them and just take all of their health. So my team is killing people, which is good. Vladimir tried to roam, which actually allows me to really freeze effectively. This means that these minions are going to eat a few waves, which is a lot of experience. Noticing Vladimir is 65 CS, I have 71. Not doing that great this game, but that's because I've been playing so incredibly aggressive. I already got Wit's End and Mercury Threats. This gives me 108 MR without the Wit's End stacks. The stacks are actually quite a bit. It's 20 extra magic resist you get from that. But like, he needs to come up here and unfreeze it. Like, as Vladimir, that's fairly easy to do. Just giving up your ulti is actually what you should do at this point. Like, if he ults me and then just Qs and Es constantly, I cannot tank the minion wave. He should take, when all his creeps just killed mine, that's when he should ulti me and then just push me into my tower. Like, I can't really do anything about that. I can't tank him during that, honestly. At this point I might be able to fight him though, even though his creeps are with his ulti on. I'm not sure about this. That's very dangerous to do most of the time. It's actually incredibly good to just sacrifice your ulti on Vladimir, because it actually does a lot of damage. Here, just kill him. I'm way stronger than him, so I can just kill him whenever I want. There's two coming top, but I got a freeze. I can just farm very safe near my tower. So they would have to dive me. I'm pushing now though, so that's actually fairly dangerous. But the Jax is still level 7, so they're not going to be able to do anything. That tornado was hella misplaced too. So Tyra's coming up here now, and she's 5 levels ahead of Jax. She misses everything though, so she can't kill him. If she just hit one of those, she probably could have killed him already. That was fairly bad. So Jenna tries to fight me. That actually works because she can guide me really well, and I didn't have any mana. I would have killed her probably if I had mana. Like, once my skills get up, I could kill her, no problem. I'm lower health than her right now, so if I get a stun on her, I can kill her. But I decide to ulti because I want to push it out. But your ulti actually does a lot of damage. Most of the time, if you actually freeze the lane, so keep the minions right here so you don't let it push, then usually you don't want to use your ultimate to actually hit the creeps, because if you do, then it's going to push. But if they move, like, if they move right about here or here, then you can just jump on them and then use your ultimate for the damage. The ulti actually does a lot of damage at level 6. I'm pretty sure it does like 400-ish and that's a lot at level 6. That's one of the reasons Irelia is really strong at 6 too, honestly. Not just the W. The W already does 45 true damage on each hit, which usually you can do like 4 or 5 with the Q. Usually they don't really realize you do this much damage, and then when they start running away you still have the Q to follow up and then do another hit. Usually it's 1. If you have higher movement speed it's 2 or 3 probably. That's also a reason Fates is really good on her. So I think I could actually just kill this guy on the turret. Well, no, he has ultimate. He doesn't have ulti, so I probably could. I'm just going to ignore him, but Jax comes up here. I was trying to take the tower and ignore, but it didn't really work out. So I wait until Jax gets my health lower than his, and then I just dive in and I flash out. So he's going to try to follow up. It's probably going to work because Janna's here too. I think I was trying to wait for my W and Q, but that wasn't going to work. So that was hella well seen by Janna though, that she came up. That was a really good job. As Irelia, you are incredibly strong if you know how to combo your skills effectively. I mean, it's not even that difficult, you just gotta know how. Looking at my team, they actually have a Pantheon support, which is kinda debatable whether that's good. Grace has 4-0 though, so I'm not complaining about that. Savannah just ults in to take the kill. Might die for it though. Oh my god. She's really low too. Oh, just fast enough. Sadly, Zyra dies for it though. Zyra did kill Pantheon, which is really nice. With the passive, I think. So, I'm not near my Triforce yet. Usually you want to roam. You want to start helping your team when you get your Triforce. That's when you're strongest. For build, I really suggest just going Triforce into Guardian Angel. Unless you're against like Vladimir or Rumble, then you really need the double null magic mantle. Then I'd get a Witch End after Triforce usually, and then get the GA. I've seen some crazy stuff too about Irelia. People going like some crazy triple null magic mantle because like they get GA as well afterwards. So Murktrat's GA and Witch End. That's a lot of magic resist. Like they can't really beat that. So kind of dancing around, not doing anything. Like when I say help out your team when you get Triforce, that doesn't really include dragon. They might need you earlier to take a dragon. I'm just showing winning a laner now, how to snowball in and shit, but I'm not even showing that effectively, besides freeze it. If you're actually losing the lane, like you're falling behind and you're having some difficulties, then it's always a really good idea to just go up to dragon and just take it with your team. If their top lane stays stop, then they cannot contest this dragon. So either they fight 4v5 or they just lose the dragon. So what their response should be is take the tower, but that's only good for you as a top laner, as Irelia especially, because then you can freeze it over here, and they just can't get up there to farm then anymore. Like, if they come up here to stay and farm, then your jungle is going to come, and they can't escape. It's impossible. Like, them pushing this tower allows you to farm a lot easier without any pressure. So that's one of the good things about actually going Drake, because usually the retaliation of you going to dragon is that they will push the tower, but then that means you can farm. So that's how you kind of get out of a snowball, if that makes sense. If they're snowballing against you, that's usually what you do, and then you just get free farm after that. When I say snowball, you usually can't farm anymore because they will freeze it, and you can't get up there because the jungler will just screw you over. Not necessarily even, they might themselves because they're really far ahead. If you push, the W is really good, W and Q, because then you get like 150 damage extra in like a second. That's pretty good. So I should probably just base. Ashe dying here, sadly. I'm not sure about this catalyst, honestly. So I just take the tower because Vladimir's bot. Like, I'm just being a really big pain right now. I'm just going to do as much damage as I can to this. Like, here I lose vision, so I stop pushing and I just go back. Playing it safe. That's what you should do when you're ahead, honestly. I mean, you don't even have to. Magic Band boots. That's what I do too in Vladimir. If you're losing, like he is now, you shouldn't ever get a haunting, guys. You should just get Wota and then just get cooldown boots. Just so you have the sustain and kite ability. It's a lot of help, honestly. This Alistair disconnected, I believe, but that's not a big deal. Not even sure, actually. No, I think he just walked back. I lied. That might have been another game. So nothing really happening here. So I'm going to move down again to go with my team. I'm constantly like usually what happens, this just constantly pushes back and forward, and like usually someone goes up there every time to just get that farm. It's not even really that necessary. Also, what you want to do, if you're going for Drake, if it's up, then you should push out top, so someone is forced to go there, or the turret takes all the EXP and actually damage it a bit. Like, it's better than just make sure it has been pushed if you go down to Drake. Like, if you're losing, that might be really difficult unless they're actually freezing. That's also kind of the way to get out of a freeze, because they will usually push. If they don't, then they're kind of screwing over their team. Like, they're not punishing you for taking dragon. That's bad. So that arrow is the best arrow ever. I've never seen such a good arrow. So here we start fighting, and as Irelia, you just want to dive whoever does a lot of damage. If you're really strong, then you're basically just forcing them to fight. Then you're basically forcing them to leave someone to defend the AD carry. And here I decide, fuck it, I want a penta, and I die for it, but I do get it. That's actually my first penta with Irelia too. And they should be surrendering here. So this is basically how I play Irelia, kind of. This is just an example, so I hope you enjoyed. And yeah.